My name is Ibrahim Suribalde, and good morning to each and every person watching QTV this morning. My morning is sound, it's bouncing and bubbling. I am here today and taking a cup of coffee. I'm taking Lido coffee. As you know, Lido keeps you agile as a monkey. And of course, you should be jumping from branch to branch. Enjoy your Lido coffee. They are our partners on this program. We have the Olinda tea, and of course, we have the Lido tea, we have the Lido milk. Well, you can have it in semi-cream, full cream. You can enjoy your milk. We also have the green tea. That's the pure Ceylon tea. Mr. Ade, good morning.
Good morning. You're already
have you Lidoed
like
yourself?
I've Lidoed already. I get in quite early, 7 o'clock, and so first thing I do is have a cup of coffee once I've set up everything on my desk. So I can see you're already jumping around, as you said, like a monkey.
Absolutely.
But you're
Absolutely.
full of life and buzzing to
True.
go. But you
True.
said, you know, the program is called This Morning. But of course, because of time zones, for some people it's late at night. You know, where they're watching us in other parts of the world that are sort of, you know, I don't know, several hours ahead. But nonetheless, they still tune in, which is good.
So we are saying good night to all.
So good
those,
night. Or
good night to
evening.
those viewing us.
Good night to anybody who's about to go to bed. Yes.
Around 10 a.m. 10 p.m. rather.
Yeah, 10
you know,
PM.
so we are back, and it's QTV this morning. Like I said, I am Ibrahim Suri Balde, and you know, Suri Balde, it's a root deep cultured name.
Is that
from
right?
Guinea-Conakry.
Right, and this is where your people are from. Yes, I have family there. I have family all over West Africa, actually. I used to call myself an ECOWAS child. My great-great-grandparents came from Abeokuta in Nigeria.
Abeokuta? You have Abeokuta in Nigeria?
Yeah, of course.
We also have one in one village, Abeokuta.
That's the original Abeokuta in Yoruba land. Yes, and others came from Guinea and from Gambia. So, and I also had family in Liberia. So I considered myself very much an ECOWAS child. Yes. But yeah, it's great to be. Was it Wednesday or is it Thursday? It's Wednesday.
Exactly, yeah. So on the program, the more the week is going down, we're keeping it lighter. So
Yes.
we'll be taking a look at the quote, the African proverb, and of course the newspaper review. And from there, a young lady making waves in the photography industry. She was part of the team.
AFCON.
AFCON.
Oh,
she was part of the team. She was a part of the team that went to AFCON.
Yes.
And she did superb. And you know, her photography is top notch and excellent as well.
She did exceptionally
So
well. And
she goes by the name
Yes.
Sadio Balde.
Sadio
And of
Baldes.
course, Balde's photography. I mean, she will be on the program here, at least to share with us some of the things that she've, you know, gathered from the AFCON.
Yes, yes.
And how long she's been doing this.
Yeah.
And why she chose that path.
Well, indeed. I saw a very interesting article in which she was featured, and it was about female sports photographers at AFCON, and she was one of the ones who was featured. And the feature kind of went around the world. You know, lots of newspapers and magazines around the world picked it up, and so her name has gone global, really. So, yeah, I'd like to meet her when she comes. Yeah.
Sometimes the skill that you decide to take in your life can take you global.
It can.
If you are sitting in your house and you are global, you are international.
Yeah, quite. With the internet now, of course, it makes it that much easier for you to get your message across. You know, people sometimes set up a TV channel in their bedrooms, and because of its popularity, it grows and grows. People all over the world, and before next thing you know, they're on the so-called regular platforms because of their popularity. So it's easy to go global these days.
Absolutely.
It's good.
Yeah,
Especially if you're good.
Exactly. On the program today, I mean, we'll be wishing my baby, Maribeti, a happy birthday. Maribeti is Francis' daughter. That's our Jibril, our own Francis.
Yes.
Today it's his daughter's first birthday. And we are wishing Maribeti, my baby, a happy birthday. May you live very long with good health.
Amen.
You know, may you achieve great things in your life.
Indeed.
May there be success, and success.
And more.
You know, so we are praying for you.
Amen.
May you grow to be a very responsible young lady.
responsible, respectable.
Yes.
And yes,
Absolutely.
we hope so. Yes.
Yeah, so Mr. Ade,
Yeah.
we'll look at the code.
Shall we delve and dive in?
I'll
straight
give
away?
you the honor to
Oh,
go through it.
I accept the honor. And it says, and it's addressed to you, it says, don't think there are no crocodiles just because the water is calm. Don't think there are no crocodiles just because the water is calm.
I saw a guy
What's your take on
plunge
that?
himself into a pond of crabs last night.
Oh,
Yes, the water was calm and he didn't know there were crabs and he just jumped inside the
and
water.
they just happened to be somebody filming.
Somebody was filming.
He probably knew, and
Mm.
that's why somebody was filming. But anyway,
They gave him the beating of his life.
I'm sure.
Yes.
But he's got lots of people watching him on the
Mm.
internet. He's gone global
Mm.
with it, as we were saying earlier.
True.
But what's your take on this?
Well, don't think there are no crocodiles.
Take it
just
out of
because the water is calm.
Let's take it out of the actual literal context
I wish
and
Julde-
metaphorical.
I wish
this is-
Julde or Jenaba one was here so that I can post this to them.
Yeah.
You know, it's telling you sometimes don't take other situations for granted.
Mhm.
You understand?
Mhm.
You have to prepare. You have to have a contingency plan.
Yes.
You understand? In case of tomorrow,
Yes.
you never know what will happen. Today can be very good.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, you never know what will happen. I mean, because your situation is good, it doesn't mean it won't be bad tomorrow.
Is that your take on it?
Yes, today you are healthy, tomorrow you're gone.
Mm.
I think that's my own interpretation. The proverb goes beyond just water and crocodile.
Oh, no, and that's why I said take it out of the literal
So-
sense. And
So
this
it's
is-
telling you you
Yes.
should have what we call plans. You should know how to approach certain situations very well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yes, I mean, I think for me it's about don't be deceived. You know, you sometimes, I can recall there are times when there were couples that I knew, and because I didn't live with them, I wasn't in their house, but they were friends. I assumed everything was fine. And then, you know, a year down the line, I hear that they're having a bitter divorce, and I'm thinking, what? But they seem so together, and this and that, you know. So sometimes, you know, what you see on the surface doesn't reveal what might be going on behind closed doors or underneath the surface. And, you know, sometimes they say that, you know, peace isn't just the absence of war. Because you hear people say a country is peaceful, but they don't know why it's peaceful. It might be peaceful because they're locking up all the people who might be, you know, dissidents or against the system. So, you know, don't be deceived by surface things. Look beneath the surface to see what else there might be. So that's my take on it.
Well, I mean, I accept, it's granted, and, you know, it can mean a different thing.
Many, of course.
And our viewers also can still send...
I hope they're sending you
They can still
they're
send
all
us-
interpretations.
They can still send us their own interpretation of the program. So we are saying hi to our viewer in Madrid, Spain, Banky.
Thank you.
He's a key follower. He followed this
Regular.
program.
Yeah.
So Banky, good morning to you in Madrid. And of course, we also have our viewers in Nigeria. They follow. We have
Philippines, in the Philippines.
Aliu in the Philippines. We have the young lady from Philippines.
And now we can congratulate Tom Samphia. He's been made coach of the Philippines football team. So
well, there is something that is connecting the Gambia and Philippines, you know, indirectly.
it was quite
Our former coach is now your coach.
the former smiling coach.
So we are still supporting the Philippines.
Yes.
You know, the Filipinos. Exactly. So, Mr. Ade, I think the proverb made sense. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you know, don't think there are no crocodiles just because the water is calm. Sometimes you can see people, they are calm. They are very quiet, but they are very dangerous. You understand? You know, it's just like the mosquito. They are very small, but they are very dangerous.
They're deadly.
You understand?
And also don't judge a book by looking at the cover. You might think, you know, what's this? You look at somebody and you underestimate them because, as you said, because they're very quiet, you might think that, oh, this is somebody I can push around, I can bully, and then unfortunately you press the wrong button with that person and they explode like a volcano. So yes, it's all of those things. It's all of those things.
Exactly. So viewers, will take a short break. After the break, we'll, delve into some of the stories making headlines. Be reminded, this is QTV This Morning, and our sponsors are Lido. Lido, as you know, the Ramadan is fast approaching. May we witness it in peace and live it in peace. Get all the blessings. So coffee will make your evenings. And of course, the tea as well. Those who are tea addicts, tea fanatics,
or just tea drinkers.
Yes,
you don't have to be addicts.
It's important for you to get the Lido.
Yeah.
You can find them from every supermarket, corner shop, mini market. Yes, across the country.
Yes.
So we'll be right back after the break.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G Internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G Internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyapus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
You are watching QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Masuri Balde. Now, we move into some of the stories making headlines. Mr. Ade, you are the head of the QTV News Department. I am pretty sure you've come across a lot of stories that you think we should discuss on this program.
Yeah, I think sometimes, every time we mention stories, they seem to be about politics. And there are other things besides politics happening in the world. So next week, the 8th of March, the All Africa Games kick off in Accra, Ghana. And that's a big sporting event. I believe they're expecting competitors from 49 African countries to take part. So that's quite, including the Gambia.
That's a huge.
Yeah, the Gambia will be there. And they've built some beautiful new complexes, sports stadia, tennis arena for the games, specifically for the games. And of course, they'll be used after the games. And I'm certainly looking forward to that. And for many people, it's come a bit too close to the Olympic Games, which are in July. So, some will use it as an opportunity. But crucially, for those who have not already achieved Olympic qualification, if they do well enough at these games, they can get qualification for the Olympics. So that's an extra spur for people who want to compete in it. And I just thought I'd mention that because usually when we have this segment, we tend to talk about politics and more politics. There's a lot of politics going on that we can talk about, of course. But, what's been interesting also, if we then go to politics, ECOWAS, they lifted the sanctions on the 4 countries that led by military juntas in West Africa, and some of them have been reacting positively, and their citizens have been reacting joyously because some of them were really suffering. traders who traded across borders couldn't do so, and now they can, and they're very happy. And of course, ECOWAS said they lifted it for all sorts of reasons. They want there to be dialogue. They want people not to suffer, especially in the lead up to Ramadan. So that's been good. If we go next door in Senegal, yesterday was the second day of the 2-day dialogue called by President Macky Sall. Although it might have appeared to people that it was well attended, it was actually boycotted by 16 of the
opposition
19 candidates who are, and it was a strange kind of thing, because for part of it Macky Sall was laughing, he was joking, he was having fun with those who were there, and on the other hand he was also complaining that, you know, he's fed up of all the criticism. I'm not a dictator, I'm not an autocrat. And they asked him specifically, do you care about the fact that now in the Western world, where they were saying you were this great Democrat, they're now describing you as a dictator because you cancelled the election. So he seemed quite stung and hurt by that his reputation has now been tarnished by recent actions. But on the other hand, he announced that today, Wednesday, they'll be having a bill discussed in cabinet, and everybody who was arrested in demonstrations from 2021 to 2024, who is still incarcerated, in custody or imprisoned, will be given an amnesty if the bill goes through, and he expects it to go through. Although one political candidate, I can't remember who, has come out saying he opposes it. He doesn't think people who rioted should be given amnesty. But I think in the interest of moving forward and in the interest of peace, I think the amnesty will come in. And amongst those who might get an amnesty is Ousmane Sonko. Although his was not anything to do with protesting about, you know, sort of Macky Sall's tenure. So lots of interesting things.
Well, I think it's important for them to sit on a table and discuss this again. I mean, you know, at this dying minutes of Macky Sall leaving power, it's important for Senegal's opposition to reconcile. I mean, reconciliation will bring ease and peace to the state. I mean, at some point, if Macky happens to leave while many people are having that grievance of anger towards him, it's still going to filter down to, you know, subsequent governments as well, especially when the party of Macky Sall happens to assume office again as president in, this year.
Which could happen. I mean, because I think, you know, and I've said this many times before, because Ousmane Sonko has made a lot of noise and his party have made a noise on social media particularly, everybody has thought it's a done deal. If he's released, he'll be president. But two things happened yesterday, or yesterday and the day before. So yesterday, PASTEF and the other opposition people who boycotted the national dialogue that Macky Sall had called, said they were going to paralyze Senegal and bring the country to a halt, tell everybody to stay home. Just did not happen. Everybody just ignored it. People went to work as usual. It was a complete failure. On the other hand, the day before, tens of thousands of people who are supporters of Macky Sall took to the street to express their support for him. So I think sometimes we get carried away by the noise and we think that the noisy people represent everybody. I've always said this, they don't. They're just the loudest.
Well, there is something that I call political maturity. I mean, there are people that, you know, I mean, they are silent about things, but they know better.
The silent majority.
Yes, those who know,
quiet,
I mean, they are quiet, and those who don't know are making noise. So this can really fool and change the environment in such a way you might not even understand how this happened. The outcome can be, you know, a great deal different from what you thought.
And you know, I've always used, and myself and our colleague Bala, we were discussing this in the office yesterday, and he reminded me, he said that I had said that, you know, I get sick of people saying all the youth will vote for Ousmane Sonko. So I gave the fact that you have 19 people representing 19 political parties, or, you know, some of them are independents. Those people all have, all the ones that are proper political parties have a youth wing. If my candidate is standing in a presidential election and I'm in the youth wing, do you really think I'm going to vote for Sonko just because he's a youth? I would vote for my own candidate.
True.
So it's a nonsense to say that all the youth will vote for him. I've never believed it. It's
I
garbage.
I think Senegal's political environment, have not been realistic to some point. Oh, let me say, I think the way they were campaigning for Usman Sonko, when it comes to, him assuming the seat as president, I think sometimes, some people are not realistic about it. I think the truth is, like you said, not everybody that wants Usman Sonko.
And I get fed up of hearing
For me, in the beginning, that's what I thought. I mean, I thought...
There's no country where that is true. There's no country. They said it about Bobby Wine in Uganda. They said it about Peter Obi in Nigeria. Last Nigerian election was the lowest ever voter turnout by youths. Lowest ever.
And most of the time,
for all the noisy ones always,
the noisy ones always, get disappointed.
Yeah, quite. And in fact,
have you seen that?
It's true. And also the Nigerian election.
Exactly.
Was the lowest ever
Peter Obi.
turnout. Peter Obi was
yes. Bobby Wine.
Bobby Wine. So, all of those, people were like, oh, next president. The Western media were rushing to interview them. Oh, look at the youths as jubilating in the streets for them. Look, just because I dance for you doesn't mean I'm going to vote for you.
We have smartphones, we can dance, we can do everything. But the mature voters are there.
And for me, I keep saying this, the disappointment about Nigeria was because all the noise, as they call themselves, the obedience, the Peter Obi, and the ones who didn't like them called them obidiots. They made all this noise that their man was going to be swept to power by the youth vote, as if the youth were the only people who vote. It's not the same. Yes, they make up the majority, but they're not the only ones who vote. And those people who can't be bothered or they're too old to dance and jump in the street and protest and riot, they make it tell when it's the day, polling day. They get up out of their wheelchairs and whatever, and they go and cast their vote. But they don't make a lot of noise about it. They don't need to. The vote is the one that speaks louder than anything else, not all the jumping, dancing, and hoo-ha and rah-rah in the streets. And I don't know why people get swept along by that, as if that is somehow the popular will of the people. It's just the ones who have the energy. That's all it means. It doesn't signify anything more, really. I don't know why people interpret it otherwise.
Exactly. Now let's take a look at stories in our country, the Gambia. I mean, recently we've seen a lot of accidents again, Mr. Ade. I mean, the number keeps increasing. And it's giving us a very bad record when it comes to world and Africa record.
Yeah, and I think to combat this, anyone who was driving yesterday and today would have noticed along the Bertil-Harding Highway that the police have put these various sort of checkpoints and traffic cones to kind of pacify the traffic, to slow down the traffic. And at some of them are manned, some are not. They just put the cones down. But the ones where there are police there, you see them telling drivers to slow down, slow down, slow down. Because in Gambia, I've never understood this obsession where everybody seems to think that as soon as I get into a car, I have to speed. And if anybody's watching this, and you're behind a grey RAV4, and you flash your lights or you beep me because you want to overtake, trust me, yes, I'm the guy who always slows down just to annoy you. When there's space for me to move over for you to overtake, I will move over. But you flash me, you beep me, it's not going to happen. And I do it every day. It's the most annoying, irritating thing when people come and they start flashing their lights as if there's an emergency that they have to get. It's not. They just want to speed.
Yeah. They do that all the time.
I'm the guy who slows down. And
there was a driver in front of me, in front of my vehicle, and the one behind was just horning.
That's it.
He didn't even realize there was another person in front.
They don't care.
And I took my time. I was very slow.
Yeah.
So then when that guy left, then I gave him away. And he realized, oh, there was somebody.
That's what you do. Because, but for me, as long as there isn't space for me to move over, I won't move over. Because there's no need for me to occupy the fast lane unless I'm going fast. So when I'm not speeding, I move to the slower lane. And for those who want to break world records, speed records, or crash into people, they can go and crash into people.
Fast and furious. You
Yeah.
cannot be. You can. I mean, I think we need to take up the responsibility. I'm tired of talking about it now.
I'm fed up of
Every
it,
time
but, you know,
attitudinal change, you have to be responsible. We've talked about
let's
this.
not talk about it. Let's do it.
We talked about this for a very long time. You
Yeah.
know, I think a country where you have, with due respect, more illiterates than the literate people. I mean,
let's be honest. Yes.
At some point,
Yeah.
this is what's going to happen. You know, even if you sensitize people on traffic rules, they'll still break the traffic. Even if you do whatever, they'll still break the traffic.
You see people, they see a traffic sign that says 30, and I said to someone, but that's just a waste of paint because everybody's doing 70.
I bet there's
Well, it says-
some don't even understand the reason.
What
of
is
that.
there for? They're
Yeah.
like, what's this? Is it 30 kilometers?
Bend, animals, school children. You know, you don't even know those things, and you are given a license.
You know, you have zebra crossings in front of schools, and they still have to be manned by police to get the traffic to stop. It's ridiculous. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It doesn't make
and why?
sense.
Because everybody wants to speed, and I've said this. What I find really funny about that is that in a country where everybody seems to want to drive fast, nothing ever seems to start on time.
Mr. Ade, I'll tell you
Yeah.
something.
Every meeting
you know,
is an hour late.
and
or
I'll tell you something.
half an hour
I
late.
am not praying for that to happen. You see the flyover, Costa Road flyover. I am scared. Someone might plunge into
Well, we already had one of those in the early days of it, in the first week.
the
very first week.
flyover.
Yes, yes.
Someone will leave the flyover and plunge
No.
down the turntable. I mean, it's going to be dangerous.
It's going to be very dangerous because the way they approach it, the speed at which they approach it, it's quite easy that a car could take off. As you said, we don't pray for it, but I think people need to be careful. And I don't know what the obsession with speed is in this country. And we've said this before. At one point, we were number 4 worldwide, then number 8, which seemed to imply that there's an improvement. But what you and I see every day, it actually seems to be getting worse, as you rightly say. But ours is not a kind of scientific data. It's just that every day, and I said to this friend who was visiting, I said between now and the end of the 5 days that you are here, if you want, count the number of accidents, either ones that have just happened or ones that you can see happen, you know, the day before and an hour before. I said you will.
Well, I witnessed one,
but
I think,
yeah.
on Tuesday.
Right.
No, not Tuesday, on Monday.
Okay.
I witnessed one in Serekunda Market.
Right.
It happened in front of me. I was terrified when I saw a driver, you know, suddenly lost control and entered in the crowd.
Oh.
You know, I was like, this is serious.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, there was a young lady. She had to manage to get herself out of the vehicle, like under the vehicle.
Oh.
She was struggling, just
Right,
crawling, just to, you know,
Oh.
and it was that serious. I mean, to my surprise, nothing
Nobody
happened
was
to the
hurt.
young lady.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I think the driver lost control, and you know, she couldn't control the car anymore.
And that's the thing I said when we've had the police on here and we've had the people who are responsible for traffic. If we were really serious, more than half of the cars will be taken off the road. But we're not serious. You know, all we do is we lament when people die. But that's not what we should do. We should take unfit and on-road worthy vehicles off the roads. That's the end of story, because a lot of these accidents happen because faulty vehicles that we drive around in. You know, they're
You know,
lethal weapon.
sometimes your acceleration cable can fail. At some point, you accelerate, and if you remove your leg from the pedal, and it refuses to,
It doesn't
flick
back up.
Exactly. So all those things can happen. That's why it's important for you to service your car time to time.
Regular.
Sometimes you can press the clutch pedal. At some point, the cable will break.
Yeah, it happened with one of our colleagues.
You understand?
Yeah.
So braking becomes a problem too.
Sure. But like I said, and as you've just kind of illustrated, a lot of unfit vehicles, and people think, oh, it's going to cost me money if I go and get it checked. Well, you know, it could cost you your life if you don't. So, you know, people need to,
And yesterday, like, as I was driving home with Suleiman Rati, in fact, he was very smart enough to take his phone and film a lorry. The lorry was parked to the bin. At some point, it was even going like this way. It was tilt sideways, and it was very serious, Mr. Ade. What about if that happened to fall on someone or on a vehicle?
On a vehicle, on a person, you're crushed, you know, and yet you've seen that, you filmed it, and nobody has taken that vehicle off the road, told the driver that what he's doing is wrong. And until a terrible accident happens, and everybody, oh no, we cry. But we shouldn't get to that stage. That vehicle should not be on the road.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think we all have our own responsibilities. I mean, the police have to do theirs, but we also have to do ours as, you know, people.
Sure.
Because at the end of the time, these lives that are, you know, wasting, you know, we would have prevented it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, at some point. You know, so, well, we will talk about it. We'll keep talking about it. We will never, you know, surrender. We'll always talk about it.
I think we always have to raise the subject until, you know, people, I always say we talk about it till you get sick of hearing us talk about it, and then you think, okay, maybe I should do something about my attitude or my behavior or whatever. And then we can stop talking about it. But until then, I think we have to keep talking about it because it's a serious matter. You know, and I don't know if we have time to talk about the arrests by the immigration department.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
we do. Yeah, I mean, arrested over 300 people, and in one instance they arrested 77 people, many of them undocumented, and unfortunately, in the instance where 77 people were arrested, 74 of them happened to be Sierra Leoneans. Some of them didn't have papers to be in the country. It's not that all of them are up to criminal activity, but some of them allegedly were or are, and the police decided, you know, so I think 74 Sierra Leoneans, 2 Nigerians and 1 Ghanaian, I think. And then in another instance, some people were caught selling kush, and they were arrested as well. So they've said also, the immigration, that they're not going to be doing this around, because this was a kind of mainly sort of Kanifing area, but they're going to take it nationwide, clamp down on, you know, undocumented or illegal migrants who are in the country. It's good to do that. But also, I don't want the police to start putting out this narrative, as one of them did, that most of the crimes committed in the country are by foreigners. And I challenged one of the policemen. I said, every time we visited Mile 2, the majority of the prisoners have been Gambians. So is it that you're not jailing foreigners? It doesn't stand up to any serious scrutiny, that allegation. But if they have the facts, I've told them to come on QTV and give us the facts.
Well,
I'm challenging them again.
Well, I don't have a problem of maybe doing your job as an immigration officer, but make sure you do your job professionally.
Of course.
You understand? I had a discussion with my Sierra Leonean friend. You know, she's a very hard-working young lady, a business lady. She called me the other day. I said, I'm going to Brikama to renew my document.
Yes, everybody's running to renew their documents at the moment.
So she said to me, I want to do this because I don't want to be embarrassed. You know, at some point, the way they handle people, they embarrassed you.
That's true.
So I want to do, I told her, look, I think it's wise for you to go and do it quickly. Because, I mean, if you come to a country and they said, these are our rules, do their rules and you'll be free. So she did it, and she is free, I mean, to move about anywhere she wants to go.
Yes, whatever happened to the ECOWAS free movement of people and goods? I mean, we make all these fancy rules, and we just don't live up to them, you know. It's not even worth the paper it's written on. A lot of the sort of rules and regulations that we've protocols that we've signed in ECOWAS.
Free movement of goods and services.
People, goods and services. So
it's a problem.
It's a problem when, you know, every time you want to cross a border, somebody wants a bribe to let you cross. You know, it's a disgrace, but that's the reality. So yeah, so the Gambia Immigration Department are on the warpath. So if you haven't renewed your papers, get them renewed now.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I wanted to share something.
And then you had to check yourself.
I have to check myself before I
before
go
you
home.
wreck yourself.
Before I go home, and my
get
wife
wrecked.
will be like, "You won't eat lunch today." I was with
so
her.
save it.
There was a day we were going somewhere,
Right.
and they almost stopped us. You know, she's fair.
Right.
They thought she's not Gambian.
Oh dear.
They were like, "Where are your papers?"
It's
I was like, "What? What happened?"
by the way, is it the law that people, because in some European countries where they have ID cards, you have to always have ID on you. In England, it's not. You can walk around with no ID.
No, you need
and
to
nobody has the right to stop you and say, "Show me your ID," because it's not a legal requirement.
Well, for if you are a
Well,
Gambian,
in France, I know. it
here
is.
you don't need to move about with your ID all the time, except if you want to do a bank transaction or something.
Right.
Or on special cases, when they call you,
Sure.
you know, to tender your ID card for
So,
verification.
so why is it they stop people and say, "Show me your ID," if you're not required to have it on you?
Maybe if they are suspicious of something, that they can stop you.
Like
But I've never
like
moved.
your wife.
Yes, I mean, she is fair, and maybe they thought she is from Guinea.
Yes.
You know, and she need to renew
And
her.
you're from Guinea.
Yes, I'm from Guinea, but we have all our documents. All right, so we'll take a short break. After the break, then we will engage a young lady,
Yes.
like I said, a photojournalist. I mean, she's been making waves, and she was at the recent in that AFCON in Ivory Coast.
We saw her.
And, you know, she made us very proud. She made names for Gambia. You just said her name is circulating all over the world now.
Yeah.
She was featured on a particular
articles,
magazine.
So articles in British newspapers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's a plus for her and a plus for the Gambia.
Of course.
So we'll take a short break. After the break, we'll be back.
Never before in the Gambia, QCell is giving you an unbeatable offer. Activate our 5G network on your 5G enabled phone and enjoy free internet for 7 days. Yes, you heard that right. Activate QCell's 5G on your phone and experience what true 5G internet feels like. Get your QCell SIM cards activated today at the following care centers: Banjul, Senegambia, Brikama, Bursubi Turntable, Bakau Airport, and Kairaba Avenue headquarters. Rush now and be part of the future with QCell's 5G. Free internet for 7 days only with QCell. For more information, call QCell Customer Care on 111. QCell Sunyabus. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms
The future
and
is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fix internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and
You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Asuri Balde. Now, to the next segment of the program, but I will take the opportunity to mention our sponsors. Lido, as you know, if you want to be fit in the morning, you want to be as agile as a monkey, Mr. Ade. I mean, it's good to be agile in the morning.
And even better to be as agile as a monkey. You see the way they jump about. As I noticed the other time, I was at Coco Ocean. I thought, gosh,
Oh,
they're really fit.
they are really fit, yes, exactly.
You know, zoom around, but yeah.
So we have the Olinda tea, you know, and you call it the pure Ceylon tea.
Ceylon
Ceylon tea.
I was making a joke that they still call it Ceylon tea, even though Ceylon is no longer called Ceylon. Ceylon is now called Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
But
yeah, I think they just want to keep that original name,
of course,
that deep-rooted culture name.
Of
You
course.
understand? Yes. So we have a young lady in the studios with us by the name Sadio Balde. Baldes. You know, she was on QTV this morning, live in Ivory Coast, with Momodou Gajaga. We featured her on this program. I mean, she's making waves when it comes to the photography industry, photojournalism.
Sure.
You know, it's very rare to see young ladies engage in certain skills, but now we are seeing it's diverse. Now it's open, and women are making ways in different areas.
For sure.
Yes, on that note, we have Miss Balde or Mrs. Balde?
Miss Balde.
Miss Balde. All right, so you are welcome on this program.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me today, Balde. My name is Sadia Balde. I am a sport photographer and an official photographer of Fortune FC. And I was at Ivory Coast for the Africa Cup of Nations in 2023, 2024.
Sure. And one has to ask, how did you get into this, into photojournalism, particularly sports journalism, rather than other types of photojournalism?
Thank you. So I started sport photography in 2021. And so I've been doing photography for a while, but I don't see pictures of Gambian footballers around in the internet that I see in other countries that they do, because I do follow other photographers as well. So in 2021, I decided, you know what, I think I should go in for sport photography. I don't have any idea about it at all.
And are you a keen follower of sports? Because you mentioned Fortune FC.
Yes.
Okay.
Fortune FC, I actually started working with them recently, this 2023, 2024, this season.
Right, okay.
So 2021, I contacted some people that are in the sport industry and to ask them, what should I do? Do I need to be in any group chat or anything? Do I need to apply for anything? And I was actually directed by Buba. He studied the Gambia, but he's a sport journalist. So when I heard that Gambia is playing against South Sudan for the AFCON qualifiers in Thiès, Senegal, I applied for my accreditation. I got accepted. Now I have to travel to Senegal with the boss, and I don't know anybody. So one of the guy there once told me that I saw a little guy at the ferry. I'm like, what are you doing here this early morning? So I traveled with them. While I was in the bus, I went to YouTube, looked for sport photography settings, and I decided to set my camera right there.
Good idea. Great idea.
When I got into the pitch, I saw a lot of Gambian photographers with the long lens. They were all male.
Right, right.
So I decided to go the opposite because I don't know
You didn't have that.
Yes, I was nervous.
Yeah.
I decided to go to the opposite. So one thing I do is that I do live updates while the game is going on. So while the game was going on, I was actually editing and posting at the same time. So, you know, people are always on their phones. So they were noticing me in the pitch, and they were taking videos and posting it. So that was the first time it went all viral on Twitter, especially that, they are spotting me. She's the only female there. Look at how small she is. And the pictures went viral, and that is when I actually started focusing on sports.
Right, okay. Because sports journalism, and photojournalism rather, is quite specialized. It's not like if you're in a studio with models and so on, they stand, they pose. There's a movement in sport. And so you have to take you have to seize the moment, and you know.
So most of these photos we're seeing on TV, they're taken by you.
Yeah. So these pictures were at Abidjan. So, you know, we were staying in Yamoussoukro, but I decided to at some point travel to Abidjan for 3 hours to Ivory Coast and Nigeria's game. It was really hard. The stadium was really far from the bus station, and at some point they always block the road, so you have to walk.
So you have to walk, all
the way. Yes, so I walked, take the pictures, and the same thing I did my live updating, and people were really, really happy to see these beautiful pictures that I took of these people, and especially the scorpions as well.
Exactly. I mean, it's important. Now, what should we expect from you? I mean, do you want to do another thing again, or you just want to focus on this?
For now, I think I will keep focusing on sports, but one thing I will want to do is to start involving more Gambians into the sport industry. Because the more we have a lot of people in the sport industry. I think, to me, the reason why a lot of photographers are not going in for it because it's not having money at all.
Right.
So yeah, if you really say you are going to focus on the money for sports, I don't think you can go in for it because it's not really financial support.
And even some of the equipment you use, and because I saw some of they did a feature on women who were at AFCON taking pictures, and you were one of them. And they all seem to have cameras that were this
long, yeah.
So it's quite an expensive thing to get into.
Yeah.
There's a picture there of you with thing, but I think you also mentioned something about, I think you hired some of the cameras.
Yes,
Right.
before going for the AFCON, I actually rented the equipment.
Right.
And I rented them at State of Mike, and I went with it.
Okay.
So the more we stay, the more I have to pay.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. So. But I'm glad that things went well. I'm glad that everybody have seen the work. It was challenging here, but the fact that people have actually let the work speak for itself, and people have actually seen what the Gambian girl is really capable of doing for sport, and her vision and goals that she have for Gambian sport is beyond like expectation. So one of the things I'm expecting to do now is actually involve a lot of girls in sport, or any male or female that really want to go into sport, because it's a course, just like you said, it's something that you should specialize on and really study it, and I hope one day I also study it as well, though you do more research and also be at the right part for it. And you just don't get up and go and cover a match. You have to really research, okay, where is the location of the match?
Sure.
Who are the people playing? You need the number of the footballers playing.
Sure.
Okay, what story do you want to tell that particular match?
Right.
And what do you want people to see? Because photography is what you want people to feel, actually, not just anything. So I hope one day I'll be able to train. Actually, I am looking forward to training. I'm looking forward to training more girls one day, hopefully this year, before the next season will start.
All right, so what are you doing, I mean, to acquire your own materials? I mean, it's important for you to get them. You know, we cannot keep renting and renting.
And you can make an appeal here.
Right. I am actually looking for sponsors. I just hope someone sponsored me and be able to get this equipment. Because to me, if you sponsor and help me get equipment, you're not only helping me, because those guys that other team that I will one day have are the same equipment that they will use to take pictures around the sports of the Gambia. So you didn't just make a difference in my life, you make a difference in the sports industry, and as well as the lives of many girls that are going to use those equipments one day.
And it also shines a light on your own country, because every time I saw you mentioned in international media, it always says from the Gambia.
From the Gambia.
So if somebody doesn't know, oh, let me look up about the Gambia. So you're shining a light on the Gambia as well. We've got a couple of serious big events coming up, Africa Games, Olympic Games. Are you intending to go to either or both of those? Because this is quite huge.
Yes, the Africa Games, actually, we applied for accreditation.
In Accra.
And we are hoping for them to reply. We haven't heard from them yet.
You know, the reason I asked this question, coming to work this morning, I heard a story on the BBC about the accreditation, and they were saying even the media have not received their accreditation yet. And they're like, what? Because apparently they want how many thousands of volunteers to help sift the applications for accreditations, and they haven't even finished employing the volunteers to do that. So I don't want to scare you, but that was a big story on the BBC. They spent quite a lot of time on it. A lot of money's been spent. I think $200 million on you know, getting the games together, and they hope it will go well. But there was a journalist, and a BBC journalist was complaining that, you know, we've not received our accreditation yet.
Yesterday too, the same thing. I asked them, no reply yet. So yes, I'm hoping to.
Okay, good. We hope, and we hope it will be sorted out.
Let's hope for the best. You know, this is important. You know, each and every person. You are an ambassador of your country. You are responsible to portray the positive image of your country. I mean, being a Gambian somewhere, you know, changing, you know, directions or impacting people's lives, and portraying yourself a Gambian, that will also send a positive signal, you know, to other people from different parts of the world. Now, Balde, let's talk about your trips. Normally, who sponsor your trips to? Okay, you went to Ivory Coast. How did you acquire, I mean, that sponsorship to travel?
Okay, when I got my accreditation, I actually first posted it on the social media platforms that I'm looking for sponsorship to attend the AFCON. And the team I'm actually working for, they decided to sponsor my trip.
Okay.
So it became easier because I actually traveled with him to Ivory Coast, and the trip was smooth and it was actually beautiful. And he makes sure that I actually stayed in a comfortable place, and whatever that I need was provided for me.
Okay.
And to me, it's a reflection of the past AFCON that I wanted to go to, and it was not successful.
Right.
Going into different offices and looking for sponsorship and trying to explain that this is really what I want to do, this is what I want to do. But having it happen now is a reflection of that I was patient and I allowed the work to speak for itself. And it really taught me to be more patient, keep working hard, and keep making the difference that you are making.
Sure.
And just at the AFCON, when Alcambine first posted about the being the youngest and actually doing well, I'm like, okay, now they have seen the work. I don't have to be explaining myself to anybody about how important it is for me to do this for Gambia. And I am really, really so passionate about taking pictures of the Gambian footballers, just so people can know how talented they are and what they are really capable of doing to make a difference in their lives.
And in a way, you're lucky because as a group, this is probably the most talented bunch of Gambians that we've had in the last 4 or 5 years or so. I mean, a really, really talented group. And, you know, given the size of the Gambia, I mean, the fact that and the level that some of them are playing at is quite extraordinary when there are much bigger countries in Africa who don't have players playing at that level. So you're right. You've kind of come around at exactly the right time to kind of feature them, to highlight them. And tell the world that, you know, they're out there, and it's fantastic.
And they could actually, some of them be texting me, you are doing amazing, we don't have this.
Right.
And because I was a freelancer for 1 year, 2021,
Right.
so I just going randomly to different matches and just take pictures and just share it with them. And I remember when I actually didn't know much about football. So when Hawks actually won the league, I didn't know that it was a final. Until I see everybody coming out, I'm like, it's final, and you guys, no photographer is here. What if I did not come? They would not have those memories for them. But I'm glad that I was there and take pictures, and they were posted on their media. So each time I see those pictures on their Facebook, I'm like, I did that.
Great.
Exactly. So finally, before we say bye, what do you have for your viewers and those that were supporting you behind?
I just want to say thank you very much for supporting and really believing in my work and what I'm really capable of, because it was hard, but now it's becoming a little bit, I will not say it's over, but it's becoming at least better than before now. And I want to say thank you very much for supporting me through it, especially my mentors who keep guiding me through my sport journey. Before I have match, they go through my things that I really need to do. I thank you for being in the background and making sure that I am taking really correct pictures and to more sports, I will say.
Okay, I mean, you mentioned about mentoring young people yourself. So if I were to ask you finally, aims, ambitions, where would you like to see yourself in 5, you know, tomorrow is not promised to anybody, but we all have dreams and ambitions. What would you like to, where would you like to see yourself in terms of a career in this field?
I would like to see myself actually running a very big sport agency in the Gambia and having contracts with agents from international team that want to come and take Gambian footballers. It could be videos, it could be pictures, it could be video analysis. I know I'm doing sport. I recently started doing research about what video analysis are and how do they get the pictures of how many dribbles they do, how many passes they do. So it's really
somebody
important.
Has to do that.
Yeah,
somebody has to film all of that.
Do that.
Yeah, quite.
So I wish to build the first sports agency in the Gambia, and a lot of young people are going to be employed, and also a lot of teams are going to have professional pictures to post on their social medias as
Wonderful.
well.
Thank you very much, Valdez.
Thank you.
I mean, for coming on the program. We are proud of you. Keep it up.
Thank you very much.
And don't hesitate. We will keep filming you. We'll be taking the photos and we'll be filming you.
Thank you.
Yes. So viewers will just go straight to the click segment with Churchill Balde.
Very def la ma bëgg a def yeah muga ma la ko danku yeah ma de réew yeah ma de réew ma de réew ma de réew yeah ma de réew yeah ma de réew ma de réew
Back. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Masuri Balde. Now from that video, Mate Reo, now we engage our brother Churchill Balde. Son, yaa ngi drip de.
Bandi QTV. Léegi nekkaatu drip bu soor. Moom maa nekka Bandi QTV.
Swiss Skill.
xam
ngeen ne dafa amee artist name Swiss Skill. Dafa musa dugga studio mu woy mu génne benn single. waaye single bi génn mu flop mu daw woy son woy du sa affaire
artiste bu daanu
baal woy yow da nga mun woy
waaw man li ma sama affaire rek
waaw sa doole la
anyway this is man right here Churchill Balde borom drip bu soxor bi Bandi QTV bi soo déggee Bandi rek man maa nekk Bandi QTV but before we go straight to the click segment Harite Zena bi teel a bésam ñu ko ooyee Ousmane Diop borom Diop Kuna Textile di la wish happy birthday yokkute rek incha allah wérle si kaw sa kanam xariti Zeyna bi borom benn bakken yaa ma gën a xam so in the studio comme jarul sax wax bu bari we already know who is in the studio mu ne moom dafa réew waaye I don't think ne moom moo ñu gën a réew we have J Life my brother.
Assalamualaikum Gambia, it's me J Life Music. Léegi moom affaire yow ba ma si fine boy rek understand nga defar bu am nice understand nga loolu rek.
So da nga réewoon waa léegi da nga génne si réew business.
No réew business léegi booga du ma si.
Léegi yaa ngi baa léegi. So you've been one of the most consistent music producers in this country understand nga comme you've done it we've seen it.
Yeah.
Over a decade plus, we are young music game. So, what is your strategy behind that consistency?
Following the trend. That's one of it. Following the trend, bringing up upcoming artists, and just being humble. And then Melo is everything. Humble, and you put it in there one day, but if you know me personally, you know that I'm a very, very good boy.
Dangareo text you very chat.
Yeah.
The very little strategy what they use, understand, to make yourself happy. Understand, to mix and blend in the game. How do you feel about that?
Boy, there's a lot of stress in this country. There's too much stress. So what you just have to do, just stay happy, And in the end of the day, yeah.
So what are the challenges you want to face in your career? Because you are not only a music producer, you're also an artist, a recording artist, to be precise. How do you balance the two?
It's really, really hard because in the end of the day, young artists, you have the time in the studio when you write a song, and then that's our song, and when they propose an amount of money, you just have to sell.
Okay,
your song.
come yourself, it's your own thing.
Yeah.
And then you do and they
decide. And they like it, and they because you have a family to feed, you have yourself, you have your studio to support, and there are a lot of challenges that I'm not because
Wow, one thing though, for my letter, who is the most difficult artist you've ever worked with?
Bro, I don't
because okay, this is the most difficult artist to ever work with, or this is the easiest artist that I've ever worked with.
I might have to work with them again. You can't ask him that.
No, I put it in like that. It's not difficult. Hanga music with that,
No, it's more difficult, meaning like in attitude. But for instance, what I mean is, you might have an artist, he has his own style. Understand? He will be telling you, no, but you be behind the mixer, you're so you trying to impose your knowledge on that artist, and we halat bandal no nila ko bugi come it's in the game, it's part of the game.
I can say Barama is one of them. He's one of the
because he's creative.
Yeah, he's very creative. ST is another one.
And these are artists who
Nancho.
Push you. Wow. Exactly. That's cool because these are artists that will push you beyond your limits.
No. I know you can do better than this.
Exactly. That's my point.
I think there are a lot of them, but I think maybe them are fatter that because right now I have to go in my memory bank this side, internet right now. But yeah, these are some few artists they pushed me to the level of my work, and come Modeta. I'm always on track.
On your A game.
Yeah.
And literally so I'm a guy hey or Akimo for more prepare for the artist being,
Yeah,
things like that have happened. Somewhere along the line you've been working with Miss Jobis, but something come Lohamantane Sibir that somewhere along the line in Amaduru fallout. Do you want to shed light on that?
I don't want to say much on that. But Hanga, come yalla dafa la taxi board God bring you in a situation that you have to help somebody, you have to support somebody to a position, and then it has to you have to let the person go. So I wouldn't say nothing much about it, but I don't wish anything bad for her. In the end of the day, because in the end of the day, come here music industry began maybe the fund out, and then we wish success for each and every person. So the bad things, but at the end of the day come.
And come necessary because who knows in the future because music is not the only thing that you people do. I'm the learner and you understand you're also not only doing recording, like they stage events. Understand what I mean? Being on the stage, backing artists on live band. And how is that that thing of yours?
It's working really, really fine. I have the help of Ansu, I have the help of Lian, which is our manager. I have the help of, my brother. He's not here, but every time he talks to me, I have a lot of people. And, I schedule my time this time I have to do this time. If I'm sleeping, I'm waking up this time. So it's really helping me.
So you've recorded a new single out there with Attack. How is it working with Attack?
It's working really fine. He's really, you know, helping me promote the song, and you know, trying to make more money serious, not like an artist, you know. It's
serious in
not easy like that, yeah.
So let's take a look at that video, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
It's Jill Live Music.
Kan jube nyaadile ibu kammalo man dumala sorale man sumay dalu ni gadalo amu masa time is money mangetuku man amu masa time is money machatu nila nyaadai kamila kalero khoma buba ora kurumuro kholal buba simiro nyunduro nyungi fale
Attaque goodly, toujours da koy tere. Ñaka xam sa sasi de lolu da koy tere. Fight begin on tele. Ñaka xam sa sasi de da koy tere. Fit to jump in, it's my watch and it's a done thing. With the niggas full of attitude, straight out of Compton. We never in a London, then all the money pumping. Without the keys to go to the house, you never in a something.
Kanji benyadile ibu kamalo mandu mala sorale man sumay dalu niga dalu amu masa time is money mangetuku man amu masa time is money machatu nila nyadai kamila kalero kholma buba ora kurumuro kholal buba simiro nyunduro nyungi fale nila nyadai kamila kalero kholma buba ora kurumuro kholal buba simiro nyunduro nyungi fale nyungi fale yo pusal fale
Nele, let me inspire this song because you guess that this is your style. Understand what I mean? I've heard a couple of your songs, but this right here hits different. Let me inspire this song.
It's just like one early morning, you wake up and then you have an idea, and then you just go into the studio and then, you know, just do what you have to do. And it's just like people that say that you can never make it. Also, they make experience. You can never make it, and then people actually don't actually believe in you.
True.
And it depends, you know, you have to believe in yourself. So, you know, technically, you tell them that
I'm low guys in there. Nala guys in this.
You are the neka fufsa gana di buri wax rek.
So, Boron create this. Lamwana Johnny Attack is the right fit for this. Like,
you know, Attack has his sound. Everybody have their sound. So if you make music, or
you
let me
feel
see,
that person.
you feel that person on that song.
True.
So when I just called him and then he told me, bro, what are you doing right now? He said, yeah, I can just pull up. I could pull up, yeah. So no waste of time. We did it like a long time, but recently he was like, boy, we need to drop this.
Okay. So like he felt that this is the time.
Yeah, this is the time to drop the song.
Nice. So when you're creating music, what inspires you?
It depends on the type of music I'm making.
Okay.
If it's a sad song, you have to be in the sad mood. Maybe probably you have to start crying. So,
you start off by crying first.
Yeah. So there's sometimes if I want to make like either a piano or a hip hop beat, I have to put myself in the mood to actually, you know, do that and, you know, be in a happy mood. So you cannot be in a happy mood and say you're gonna do a very sad song.
True. So now that it's clear that J Live understand he's trying to push his music career, obviously the bookings in you. So how prepared are you?
Well, it's not going to be easy like that.
Because nga nekk si biir studio bi.
Yeah,
and nekk si ko stage.
It's easy. It's easy. Moving the crowd is different from actually being in your studio.
Exactly.
You know, and you know.
So how prepared are you to face that? Right?
Well, I'm prepared. You know, we learn by mistakes. We learn by, you know, small faults. That
we. No, you never you feel your life. Yeah. Lisa.
I'm a watcher.
As simple as that. So what marketing strategies gonna get to put forward?
Right now, it's really, I'm really happy for the fact that a lot of people are coming up. The last time I met with somebody and he was like, bro, I'm gonna set up a fans club for you. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So things are just forming up and coming up. You know, it's like God is working in His own ways, and you know, I'm really happy about.
So do you have a manager?
Yeah, I have a manager. I have Mams. He's my manager, and I have other people there that also supported me, and you know, I have my other manager, acting manager. I call him Iliman Kulu Kulu.
Okay.
He's always with me. He's here with me. So shout out to him. He's like.
So, what upcoming projects are we expecting from J Life?
There are a lot of projects that you are expecting with a lot of artists, both in Gambia and international.
Okay.
Which I can say they are already done. What I'm just doing right now is just, you know, taking baby steps to get there.
To accomplish that.
Yeah, come to my marriage, just more time.
Album
is dal. Dino new. I don't want to tell anybody anytime. I want you like boom.
Why would you find them? You know, then you want to hint.
No, hint be dal. As you see, the song with Attack, you know, people were not actually expecting it because the way things went, the first day I dropped it, it was slow. But after 2-3 days, I just, you know,
make waves.
Make waves. So
nice. And how come Number C so far?
Number C, they are coming up really, really good. It's coming up really good in just 7 days. You know, I am seeing a lot of good feedback from a lot of people, and you know, now people are starting to recognize me as an artist.
And who is that artist or who is that producer that inspired you growing up? Because I'm not enter into it like that.
I had like a lot of producers because when I started music production, I was making EDM, dubsteps, and you know, and those music were not the actual music that was selling in the Gambia. And I was following producers like Metro Booming. There are a lot of American producers that I was following. And then I came to African producers, Mastercraft, Chris Beats, and all those other people. Then I had somebody that mentored me in the Gambia. That's Hakim. Yeah, Sunlight Music. So
Hakim. So many people have passed through Hakim.
He was really my inspiration.
Yeah, and he has done a lot. He has contributed when it comes to Gambian music. He's an OG. Yeah. And still, I heard that right now, but I heard that he still has his input into Gambian music.
Yeah,
so when it comes to understand, there are so many things that you do because my father this interview before we got on set, I'm gonna even videography. Like you have your own production team.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot. How are you able to handle all this?
I have, like I said, Iliman Kulukulu. He's the one that anything I have, when I just tell him, he reminds me. Even I'm sleeping, he's like, "Oh God, wake up."
Okay, you have the schedule.
So you have a schedule how you need to wake up. So he's really. For this video I did with Attack, you know, I could not hold the camera, so I had somebody one. And I had also XD with the help with lights and cameras and all of that. So it's from him that I get most of my stuff. So I called them one, and he was the one on set. With also Iliman Kulukulu, the same Kulukulu, the same Iliman Kulukulu.
That's your guy.
He was there. So and he's the one that shot it. I did the editing, and I had to go back to XD, and we worked together on the coloring. I had a lot of arguments in the end of the day, but I shoot my own. I shoot videos too. I'm a videographer, so.
So what is your advice to someone that is aspiring to be like you, music producer, artist, videographer? I'm not at some point say you'll be an actor.
Well,
who knows?
If the money there.
This guy is so money oriented. So what is your advice to someone out there that is aspiring to be just like you?
It's just follow your heart. That's everything. You know, I have been somebody that I always wanted to be a jack of all trades and all of that. Yeah. Because growing up, it was really hard for me. But I just followed my heart, followed what I wanted to do. And you know, if you want to be a videographer, just go follow.
Go for it.
it's just you know some I'm not gonna but it's just baby steps. Learn this, even though you don't have enough time. Just take time. You're creating time. Sometimes when I wake up, I take time just to sit down, go on the internet just for like 1-2 hours, update myself, then sit down, work on projects, then come work on myself, and you know that's how I do it.
I'm going to when they see you people understand when making beats or entering into a studio creating music. Then they find it's easy, but bro, it's not that easy.
It's not easy like that.
Yeah, because I know about this. Understand? At some point, understand? I'm not experience why it's not something from the grassroots. Because one thing in Gambia fini, they come to put aga to the top, and it's very easy. Why Lolo doesn't come. Because your baby steps you're gonna miss. So it down. Straight. Understand? Because all the baby steps don't come miss. Don't come yakamti. So it down. Fat aga si suuf comme suma ko do bi balle.
So man na down ni.
Da nga down.
Wow, yeah.
Journalist bu down nga.
Wow. Why I like video you know. Yo ya jël suñ president bi nga def ko ci video. It's not easy like that.
No, but technically
it's not easy like that.
I had an intern producer. Okay, there's this kid that likes me really much. Seka Beats, his family to me. So there's a time he was saying that it's hard for me to do this. I told him, okay, if I want in a month, I'll be one of the biggest TikTokers. He did not believe me. I said, okay, watch. So I was trying different things. Schooling la nekoni, and then I just started taking people's talk and making beats on it. And
why lolu nehon na de, huh?
Like guy, you saw it that they report my account me in the end of the day.
Oh, so your account was reported.
I went till over 100,000 followers within just 2-3 months. Yeah, when I started working on that.
So right now, how is the account? Is it back up?
No, it's not back up. I have a new account.
I have a new account.
Yeah, I have a new account.
Wow.
So that's when I stopped, because at the end of the day, you know.
But I got the line you.
Yeah, it's.
So Langwa final words. Langa, what is something that you want to promote out there for people to know? Because we don't have time to do this, but.
Yeah, I'm really working on my project, and I have a lot of upcoming songs, really, really, really good ones. And I want people to watch out and keep supporting me. And I thank my fans and I thank the people behind me for supporting me, because if I could only know, I'm not gonna be here. So
before we go, yeah, I'm going to definitely a trend. Come this question. What is one misconception about you? Understand that you have been longing to death, like come yanko buyaga buga explain ni why mulla am chance pour wax ni ni la fa demé. What is that misconception about you?
Man, I will always expect people to have misconception about me. Come anything you want to think about me, it's up to you to think about me. Because in the end of the day, I cannot force anybody to like me or to hate me in the end of the day. Because I am me. And in the end of the day, Kumaham personally, you know how I am. So there are a lot of talk about me. So, but you know, I'm a damn fella.
I like that, because the thing is sometimes they hinder its progress, because every time and you think about what people think about you. Understand? Every time you want to do something, this is what you're going to think about it, and then you let that dream die. Understand? So now come make sure mama def ko at trend. I will ask you that question. We share that, we ponder on that, and then we motivate each other to go for what you want to go for your dreams. Like there is no limit to what you can achieve. Exactly. The world is yours. You can go out there and conquer. So that's all from me.
Churchill, thank you very much. Thank you, J-Live, for coming on the program. Thank you, Mr. Ade, for also stepping in and feeling as the co-host and the guest as well. We appreciate.
A pleasure.
Yes. Thanks to all our technical crew, the camera crew, for backing this program so that our viewers can watch it. Viewers will now say bye until tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of our programs until we come back. Have a wonderful day.